welcome back to my channel and welcome the newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey by hitting that subscription button. It's free, and hit the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. I would just like to mention that if the video is a little bit too fast for you, up top there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also, right next to it, there's the CC letters for closed caption. You can turn that on, and you can read all the stitch that I'm calling down here. By pausing the video, take notes, will make it easier for you. Now, normally when I upload the videos, it takes about an hour for YouTube to search all my words that I'm saying, so it can appear on the closed captions. So don't panic if you don't see right away the closed captions, because the video has just been launched. It will show up in about a half an hour to an hour after the upload. I also would like to mention that if you have extra yarn, extra thread, and you'd like to help the women in need, we highly appreciate it and being very, very grateful for it. Thank you for the ones that already have helped and are still helping. If you'd like to donate, right below the video, there's a little bag of $. You can donate whatever amount you'd like. Nobody's asking for millions. Anything helps. It adds up at the end. You can also go into the description box. My PayPal account is there. You can donate through there if you'd like also. Please always give a thumbs up on the video if you like the video. It does help the video to circulate and also to be recognized worldwide. I gratefully appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's one way to help me out and to help to continue to create these beautiful pieces. Also share on your Facebook public. It costs nothing. Everything is free. There's no charge of anything. So please help out to grow the channel. I do have a Facebook group, private group. If you have a profile, you're more than welcome to request to be a member. It's free, of course, and we'll approve you. You must have a profile. Be careful with the links that you go into the groups that says cut and bit. These are fraud scammers that go through your phones, your computers, and take every information of yours. Do not open up those links. There's a lot of hackers in the groups now. That's why I made sure that my group is private. I want to thank every single one of you from the start being with me, and thank you so much for the newcomers. It costs nothing to subscribe, so please do so. Thank you so much, everybody. Everything will be listed always in the description box for every pattern that I create, the sizes, the thread that I use, which is Portugal thread. They're 100% cotton thread, 4-ply, which is similar to Aunt Lydia. Number 3, which number 3 Aunt Lydia is just a little bit thicker than my thread, not by much, but a little bit. I usually use a hook 3 or 3.5, a small one for tucking in loose ends, and a pair of scissors, of course. So thank you, everybody. Any other questions, suggestions, please feel free to comment. You can always get a hold of me if your intentions are to give some thread or yarn away. There's my email below the description box. There's my Facebook page that you can follow also, my Facebook group, my Instagram, my TikTok. So there's so many ways you can message me. Thank you so much, everybody. I hug every single one of you, and much blessings to all of you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, everyone. So we pretty much finished doing the flowers on the 4 corners of the pattern as I had shown you. All you had to do was rewind the video a bit on video 4 and proceed that way. Now I put this aside. What we're doing next is we're going to do the butterfly. Okay, we'll need 2 of them. And I've already done one just to show you what the butterfly looks like. And we are going to do the tutorial on the next one. Boy, let me tell you, if it wasn't for Miss Barbara Fout, I keep saying her name wrong, I guess, to guide me through this, I don't think I would ever be able to do it, because there's a lot of piecework. It's a gorgeous, and I absolutely love this pattern. And once it's done, I'll be more than excited to have it done. But it does take a lot of patience and a lot of concentration, because one little mistake, it ruins the whole pattern. So you have to be extremely careful, and I'm trying to be extremely careful on this tutorial so you don't mess up. There's certain mistakes sometimes we can fix on the spot, and then there's certain mistakes we can't. So we're going to continue. I'm using the royal blue, which is to match my royal blue flowers on this pattern. And we're going to continue with the butterflies. So we'll need 2 of them. So I'm going to do the tutorial on one. Obviously, you could always go back, rewind to follow up with your second one. Okay. And this butterfly is done in 2 sections. We're going to start to do the middle here and the beginning of the 4 pineapples here. And then we're going to cut our thread. This is done separate, each one by itself. And then one is done separate, and then one is done separate. So it's 4 different times that we need to cut the thread. We're going to continue to do up until a certain point here, both of them. And then we continue only with one, and then we have to come back, tie the thread, and continue the other. And then cut the thread, then continue here and continue here. As you can see, it's different size. These are the same size, both, because that's going to be attached to the pattern. And this one is out of the pattern. These 2 are smaller than this, with the same size, both of them down here. Okay, so you have to be extremely careful and pay attention, because it is done separately, obviously, like any other butterfly that we do, or pineapple that we do, that sometimes we have to finish it and close it off. And if you realize they're smaller, they don't have this attachment here on here, because we will need this afterwards. We'll have to create another thing here when we get to it. I don't want to confuse you too much now, to attach it to the butterfly, to the centerpiece. Okay, so we're going to get started now. The first thing you want to do is create your 8 chain. I'm just going to move this a bit because we don't want to mix up anybody here. We're going to do the slip stitch, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chain. Once we've done the 8 chain, we're going to come on the first one and close it in with slip stitch. I'm going to do 1 chain, and I'm going to come right in the center of the circle and create a single. Now we're going to do 12 singles inside of this circle. So we started with 1 chain back in with a single. That's our first one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, until we have 12 singles. So we have our 12 singles. We're going to come into the first single that we started off with a slip stitch. So you're going to have your first row with 12 singles. Now we're going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. We need to create 12 loops into the next single with a single. 1, 2, 3 chains into the next single with a single. This is row 2, so you got to end up, and I've skipped one. We have to be careful not to skip any. We're going to end up with 12 chains of 3 and a single on each one of them. So we have 12 singles. We're going to have 12 chains of 3, 1 per space. We're closing in with a single. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. So I'm doing my last 3 chain loop, and I'm coming in the first one with a slip stitch. So now I have my 12 loops here of 3 chain. I'm going to walk, I call it the walk, in the center of the first loop with a single. And I'm going to do chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this row 3 will be about doing loops of 5, exactly the same thing as we did row 2, but instead of 3 chain, we're doing 5 chains. Okay, so this is row 3. So continue to do one in the middle of each loop, a single, so 5 chain into the next space in the center of the 3 chain loop with a single, 5 chain, continue on. So you're supposed to have 12 loops of 5 chain at the end, and I'll meet you at the end. So we finished doing row 3. I've closed in with a slip stitch. Now I'm just going to go through the first chain here on this loop just to get myself there with a slip stitch, and I'm going to come right in the center of that 5 chain loop like that. This is row 4. Okay, I don't want it to have this too much in the way. Let me see if I can fix it there somewhere. So now that we're in the center of the first chain of 5 with a single, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes it's best, or most times it's best, to look ahead of the video. Take your notebook. You can pause, read, put your closed caption on, read what I'm saying, and take notes of the stitches. Okay, so I'm coming into the next loop with a single. So we have our first loop of 5 chain. Now I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 chain only. I'm coming into the next loop, and I'm going to create 2 double crochets, so a shell of 2 double crochets, and 1, 2, 3 chain. I'm coming back in again and create 2 double crochet. So basically this is the start of one pineapple. Then when we get here, the other one, and then the other one, and then the other one. So we'll always have a 5 chain by itself, next 3 chain, the 2 groups, 3 chain between them, 3 chain again. So we're repeating what we did here. Into the next loop, chain 3 with a single, chain 3 again, and whoops, no, not chain 3, sorry, 4, 5, chain 5, and into the next loop with a single. So we have to do the same thing like we did here. So we closed in with the slip stitch, we did the walk inside of one of the chains with a slip stitch, and then a single in the center, 5 chain into the next one with a single, chain 3 into the next one with the 2 groups of double crochet, chain 3, space between them, and then we're repeating what we did here on here. So chain 3 single, chain 5, chain 3 again. We're coming in the next one, we're doing the 2 groups again. So we're building already the first foundation for the next butterfly. 2 groups of 2 double crochets, I should say 1 group. Well, we're going to do the 2 groups on the same space anyway. Chain 3 between them, and again 2 double crochet together. So this is the other foundation of the next butterfly. Okay, so we have only 1 chain here of 5 in between them, and then again 1, 2, and 3 into the next space, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the next space, single. So we're repeating what we did. 1, 2, 3 chain into the next one, and we're creating the 2 groups of 2 double crochet in the same space, and 1, 2, 3 chain between them, and again 1 double crochet and another double crochet. So we have our third foundation for the third butterfly. 1, 2, 3, next space single, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 chain into the next space single, and we're going to create the last foundation. So chain 3, last foundation for the fourth butterfly. 2 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, and again 2 double crochet together, and 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to come into the first single we did there for the 5 chain, and we're going to close it off. This is row 4, and this is video 5. Okay, so we've closed in our single with a slip stitch. I'm going to do the walk right into the center of this 5 chain with a single and chain 2. We're going to create the shell inside of this 5 chain. So single 2 chain would equal a double crochet and a double crochet, and then 1, 2, and 3 chain, another 2 double crochets on the same space. Okay, so it's going to look like that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to come where we have the shell, and I'm going to create another shell. The only difference is this time we're going to do a 5 chain space between the 2 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because these are for the pineapples. So again, 2 double crochets on the same space with 5 chain between them. The only time it's 3, it's the middle one here. The corner ones for the pineapples are with 5 chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to come in the center of this 5 chain and create a shell with 3 chain space between them. 1, 2, and 3. Come back in again and create 2 double crochet. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back in the corner one. We'll be doing a 5 chain space between the shells. 2 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. Come back in and another 2 double crochet. So we're going to repeat this all the way around. So very simple. Everything else is 5 chain, only the center one. And you know that it's the center because we already started the shells here on row 4 for the pineapples. So where we have the shell already, that's our corners. That will be a 5 chain space between them. The middle ones will be a 3 chain space. So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I've closed in on my second chain, which is the first one we did single and 2 chain. I closed in with a slip stitch. Now let's just recap that, make sure that you guys are not lost. Okay, so where we have already the shells continues to be shells because these corners are for the butterfly, and here is the 3 chain. Everything else is 5 chain. 3 chain, 5 chain, 5 chain, 5 chain, 3 chain. So the only time that's 3 chain is the in between the shells. We create this shell with 3 chain in the middle. The corner ones are 5 chain space between them. Okay, so we are gonna go into, I believe, row 6. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, going into row 6. Okay, everyone, going into row 6, you have to pay attention because here we'll do the double crochets for the 2 pineapples, the big ones. It's 12 double crochets on both big ones, and these 2 here will have only 8. So you have to be extremely careful not to make that mistakes. So we're going to come into the center here with a single because we are in the middle in between the pineapples. Single, chain 2, another double crochet, and we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 chain. We want to create 3 groups of 2 double crochet inside of this 3 chain we have here. So 2 double crochets, chain 3, and 2 more double crochets. So we have 3 groups of 2 double crochet, 3 chain, okay, in between them. Now we're going to do chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to come directly in here and I'm going to do 12 double crochet. So 1, 2, this is the beginning of the pineapple, of the first pineapple. These are going to be the big ones, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Make sure you count it properly. We can't miss any of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got our 12. We're going to do chain 4 again. 2, 3, 4. We're going to come in the center of this shell here and create the 3 shells. So 2 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3 chain. Again, 2 double crochet all in the same space, and 1, 2, 3 chain again, and the last group 2 double crochet. We're going to create our second big pineapple. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Come back in and do your 12 double crochets. So these 2 will be the big ones, and these 2 will be the small ones. Okay, so continue to do your 12, and I'll come back to you. So I've done my 12. So now we have the 2 pineapples of 12. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Come and do your shell, 2 double crochet, or 3 double crochet, 3 groups of 2 double crochet. Good God. Chain 3. Again, 2 double crochet, chain 3, and the last group of 2 double crochet, all in the same space, exactly like we did here at the beginning or here. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do these small pineapples, so it's 8 double crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double crochet. Let's confirm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't want to miss any of them, right? So we have 8. Again, chain 4, 2, 3, and 4. Come back and create your shell of 3 groups. 3 chain, space, again 2 double crochet in the same space, 3 chain, and again. So now we have our 3 groups. Chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're creating the last small pineapple. Again, 8 double crochet, and then chain 4, and we're going to close it up. So I'll meet you there. So we've closed up. I'm going to go right into the center of this first space chain between the shells there with a single chain 2. We're going to create a shell here, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet in the same space. I wonder if I have enough lighting here. So we are in row 7. So we created our first shell on the first one here from the 3. groups of double crochet. We're going to do chain 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to come back in the next space and create another shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 4. I'm coming into the first double crochet from the pineapple where we have the 12, and we're going to create 12 double crochets with 1 chain space between them. So double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet. Okay, so continue yours, and we're going to repeat the same thing as we did here on here. And of course we're going to do chain 4, so all around will be chain 4, and we're going to create these 2 groups with chain 5 on the center over here, but I'll meet you here. Okay, so I've done my 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, with 1 chain space between them. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Come back in and create your shell with 2 chain space, 1, 2, and again on the same space, 2 double crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again your shell, 1, 2 chain space, and 2 more in the same space. Okay, and chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do the same thing on our 8. No, this is till the 12th, but we'll be doing the same thing here on our 8, the smaller pineapples. 1 chain, and continue to proceed the same way as we just finished doing on the first pineapple. Double crochet, 1 chain space, double crochet, 1 chain space, 12 times. Okay, so I'll meet you again. We're going to repeat the same thing here as we did here. So I'll meet you here where we have the shells and 2 and 5 chain in between them. Okay, so now we're going to do our 4 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, and proceed the same way with the 8 double crochet. So 1 double crochet, 1 chain space, 1 double crochet, 1 chain space. Now, after this, we're going to work 1 pineapple, or actually, we're going to work 2 for a bit, and then we start only with 1, okay? Or actually, we finish with 1, and then go back to the other one, repeat the same process. So, 1 double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double crochet, 1 chain, chain 4, and repeat again your shells with a 5 chain space between them. Chain 2, and again double crochet in the same space, the 2 of them. So we create 1 shell here, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it all stays the same. Chain 4, actually chain 2, because we still have to do 1 more here. Should not get ahead of my time here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then complete your 8 double crochets with 1 chain space between them. Now, of course, this pattern takes a lot of videos. First, because I'm recording out of my mobile, it takes too much memory on my phone. Second, there's a lot of little details to it, and it's cut here, cut there, and then restart somewhere else. So it's very delicate, very touchy, a lot of piecework to it. But I'm sure at the end you're going to say, oh, thank God I'm done with it, but I'm happy with it. You'll love the pattern. because I know it takes a lot of patience for this, trust me. Okay, so continue, and then I'm gonna meet you here, and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna go to row 8. Now I need to get to here, because we're going to start working only 2 pineapples, and then it cuts down. So what I'm going to do is, since we've closed in there with a slip stitch, I'm just going to do the walk between these stitches here all the way to the other side with a slip stitch over the chain 5 we did, into the center of this shell with a single. So I've done the walk from here to this shell, okay, because we need to get to the shell 12, right? So we're going to continue to do single 2 chain. We're going to create the shell, and 1, 2 chain space, and 2 double crochets. So for the rest of the pineapple, it's always, because now we're creating 1, and then we'll have to cut the thread and go and create the other side eventually. It will always be a 2 chain space between the shells here. Okay, so now we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. We're going to come into the center between the first and second double crochet. We're going to start to proceed with the loops, the pineapple loops, 1, 2, and 3. So we did a 4 chain, went directly in between the first and second double crochet, chain 3, into the next one with a single, 1, 2, and 3, into the next one, 1, 2, and 3, into the next one, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, all the way to the end here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 loops of 3 chain on the big pineapple. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do my shell. Now we're going to work just for 2 or 3 rows on both pineapples, the big ones, and then we have to cut down to 3. 2 chain, and then we have to cut down only to 1 pineapple. I get disconcentrated when I'm talking. I'm sorry, people. Okay, so we did the 4 and the shell. Now you need to pay attention. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. I'm going in here and doing 1 double crochet in the center of this 5 chain. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 chain. I'm coming back in and doing another double crochet. Okay, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm coming in doing my shell. So you have to be extremely careful on the details here. Okay, chain 2, and create your other 2 double crochets like that. Okay, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, coming into the first double crochet and the second, and then chain 3 and create your pineapple. So this is the second wing of the butterfly, let's say. Pineapple, these are the big ones. We are not touching the small ones. This will be worked separately, so we're not touching these. We're going to be working back and forth for a few rows, and then we're just going to close it off one at a time. Okay, so just do your 3 chain and your 10 loops of 3 chain on the second pineapple, and I'll meet you just here at the end of your 10th chain or 10th loop of the pineapple. Okay, so I've done my 10 loops with 3 chain on the second big pineapple, and do chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to create the shell here, and now we're going to be working back and forth for the next few rows. Chain 2 and 2 more double crochet. We are not going further than this for the small ones. They have to be worked separately. We're going to turn our pattern, and we're going to do the walk with the slip stitch to the center of that shell and create a shell. Again, single, 2 chain, another double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets in the same space. So this is row 9. Okay, we finished row 8, row 9. So 8 and 9 starts the 2 pineapples, the big ones. And now we are going to do, let me just check here how many chain, because it changes up the chain count. Just give me a second. Okay, so we're still good. We need to do chain 4, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to come in the first loop of the 3 chain for the pineapple with single. 1, 2, 3. So now we're doing the loops of the pineapple. 1, 2, 3, and single all the way to the end of the pineapple, and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 loops of 3 chain for the first pineapple. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing our shell. 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet on the same space. We're going to do chain 4, 2, 3, 4. Coming into the center where we have the 2 double crochets, we're going to do 3 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, and again 2 more double crochet, all in the same space, 2 chain space, and 2 more double crochet in the same space. So now we have 3 groups of 2 double crochets separated by 2 chain, all in the same space where we have the 2 double crochets and the 5 chain. Chain 4, and again create our shell. Chain 2, 2 double crochets, so we have our shell again exactly like we have here. Chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and create your loops. Okay, your 9 loops, and then chain 4 and your shell again. So I'll meet you at the end. So I just want to show you what it looks like. Okay, this is the second big one. So we did our 9 loops of 3 chain, chain 4, and your shell. We're going to turn around. We're going to do the walk and go into the center. So this is row 10. Single 2 chain. Create our shell. Chain 4 into the shell, create our 3 chains to do the nutshell into the pineapple, 1, 2, 3 chains again, 1, 2, 3 chain single. So we're going to create our pineapple, and I'll meet you here at the end. So I've done my shells. I'm going to do now chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm coming in and doing my shell. Now from here on we're going to work one, finish one pineapple, okay, and then you will have to rewind and continue to do the next one beside it, okay. So just see something here. Sorry, I made a mistake. We have to do chain 4. It's on the next one. We do on the next one here we do a chain 6. So chain 4. Sorry about that, people, because I have to look into my sheet also, and when I get stuck I have to call Barbara for her to help me out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So chain 4, do your shell, chain 2, and again 2 double crochets on the same space. Okay, so chain 4 here and chain 4 here. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do the shell where we have the 3 groups here, and then we're going to turn around, work one pineapple at a time. 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet. Okay, so basically row 11 we start doing the pineapple by itself. So we're going to turn around, row 12, go into the center here, create your shell, 2 chain space, and again 2 double crochet. So we created the shell. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Come in here, create your shell again. 2 chain space, and your shell is created. So I have to check something here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 4, 2, 3, 4. Come in, create your pineapple. Chain 3, single, chain 3, single, okay, and then chain 4 here and create your shell at the end. Okay, so I'll meet you there at the end. We're going to have, so I think this row was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll have 7 loops on the pineapple of 3 chain. Okay, so pretty much finished doing my 7 loops of 3 chain, chain 4, and the shell. Here we started with the shell, 2 chain space always, 6 chain, shell, 4 chain, 7 loops, 4 chain, and the shell. We're going to turn around and we're going to create our shell again. So we're just going to do the walk, as I call it, into the center, single, 2 chain, 2 chain space between the 2 groups. This is row 13, I believe. So now we're going to do an increase of chains. So we're going to do chain 5, 3, 4, 5. We're going to create our 6 loops, 1, 2, 3 on the pineapple. chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the next one, create your shell, chain 2 and 2 more in the same space, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, create your shell, so we started with the group, 2 chain space, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops of 3 chain, chain 5, shell, 2 chain space, and 6 chain, and the shell again. We're going to turn around, going into row 14. So we'll do the walk into the center, single 2 chain, create our shell, 2 chain space, 2 more double crochet in the same space, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming in, is it chain 5? No, sorry. Oh, what was I thinking? Chain 6, sorry. And coming to do our shell. So row 14, chain 6, as we've turned, 1, 2, create our shell, and chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Create our pineapple loops, chain 3, single, chain 3, single. Okay, come to the end, we're going to do chain 5 and create our shell at the end. Okay, so let's recap that. Did our shell, 2 chain space, chain 6, did our shell, 2 chain space, chain 5, single on the first one, did our 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 5 loops, chain 5, and did our shell. Turn around, going into row 15. So we're going to create our shell, row 15, going to the center, single, 2 chain. And it's good that you mark these things down before you get all lost and confused, because you have to do exactly the same thing on the other side, on the big pineapple. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come into the center, create the pineapple, with the 3 chains, of course. Now here, no, still chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Create your shell with 2 chain space between them. And now we're going to do chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Create your shell, 2 chain space, okay, so row 15, we did the shell, 5 chains, create your loops. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops, chain 5, do your shell, 2 chain space, chain 7, and create your shell. Turn around, going into row 16. Create your shell. We're going to do 7 chain, create the shell, 5 chain, So I've created my shell. I'm going to do chain 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to create my shell, chain 2, create my 2 other double crochets, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, create my pineapple, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, single, 1, 2, 3, single, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Create your shell. Chain 2 and 2 more double crochet in the same space. So create the group, chain 7, create the groups again, the shell, chain 5, 1, 2, 3 loops, chain 5, and your shell. Going into row 17. Create your shell, chain 2, so our shell is done, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, come in, do your pineapple, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so you'll have 2 loops left on your pineapple, and chain 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, not on this one, chain 5, sorry. Getting ahead of my head here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Create your shell. Chain 2. Now we do chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And create your shell again. Chain 2. Shell, chain 5. 2 loops on the pineapple, chain 5, shell, chain 7, shell. Going to row 18. Do your shell. We're going to do 6 chain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Create your shell. Chain 5. Do your pineapple. And chain 5. Create your shell. Shell, chain 6, shell, chain 5, your last loop on the pineapple, chain 5, and your shell. I probably mentioned the rows wrong. So this is row 18. I guess we finished doing row 17. So create your shell, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet in the same space. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come into the center, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Create your shell. Chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And do your shell. Turn around. Do your shell. Chain 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do your shell. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come directly into the next one and do your shell. Chain 2 and 2 more double crochet in the same space. Turn around. Going to row 20 now. Do your shell, 2 chain space between them. Come in the center of the 5 chain here with a single. Into the next shell, create your shell. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Create your shell. Turn around. And this is the last row of this pineapple, and then you will have to go and create the other one, the other big one. Single to chain, create your shell, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come in. Now we're going to leave it on the hook incomplete. And here also. And we're going to take it out all at once. Just like that. Okay? Now you can cut your thread. And tuck in and rewind the video and go do the next pineapple, unless you've taken notes. But it also helps when you look at the video at the same time as you took notes, then you'll know what's going on here. And I'll show you with the one that's done so you can have an understanding of it. Now, I will guide you to start off the first pineapple here before you make a mistake, because I made this mistake earlier when I was doing mine. Okay, so I'll show you here. So these are the two. The thing is, when you start the next one, you got to make sure that you start from that 3 here. And don't make a mistake starting it here on this one, because I did that and I had to take it all down. We have to start right here where the next one is, or our first one, right? On your 12. So these are the 2 big pineapples. Okay, and then I'll come back to you and show you for the small ones, which is quicker because they're smaller. So we got to start where we have the 3. So if you want to put your pin marker on it before you make a mistake, so right after where we have the 3, this is where we start. So make sure you put your marker on there, because you will get mistaken like I did. And Barbara also made that mistake. Apparently she told me she had made that mistake too. So this is where we're going to start off. The pineapple is from here. We have to repeat the same thing as we just did on here. Okay? Okay, so we're going to start the next big one. So we have to start here, remembering that we will have to do the same thing, so it's like on reverse, because we started by here, right? Now we have to make sure, I mean, you can see that there's 2 rows of shells going here. There's only one here, that's the outside. This will be attached to the pattern. Okay, so we have to follow the same thing. So you will have to start right next to where we have the 3 groups and create your shell. So we do the single 2 chain, double crochet, chain 2, and again the 2 double crochets. Okay. So chain 6, we have to do exactly the same thing as we did here. So we have 2 rows of 4 chains, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 6 chain, and 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of 7 chain, 1 row of 6 chains, and the last 2 rows of 5 chains. It's on the one that's going to be attached to the pattern, so the outside one on this side. These 2 are the same size. We have to do, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of 4 starting from here. So we have 7 rows of 4. So anyway, so we have to do chain 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do your shell. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Do your pineapple. Okay. And then you're going to do your 4 chain pineapple and turn around. So you can pretty much go back and rewind the video. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do your shell. Okay, then turn around. Do your shell. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another thing you can do is look at the other side of this pineapple and see how many chains you have. Put a marker as you go on the row. That's another way to confirm that you're on the right path. Okay, so I'm going to continue to do my butterfly exactly the same thing as we just finished doing on this side, and once I'm finished I'll come back to you with it. So like I said, you can put markers and check this one, rewind the video, slow down the video, put your caption on, your closed caption on, see the stitches I'm calling out. Don't forget we're doing it reverse now this time, right? So you have to do the same amount on this because here we have 2 rows of shells, right? You don't want to get that mistaken. And here is only 1 row. We know that here, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4, 1. So starting from this one here, from the 12 double crochets here, chain 4. So we know we have chain 4 because this one here is chain 5. So 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, on this, yes, on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This side is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on this side, we know we have 6 rows of chain 4, and then it changes until the end with 5 chains. Okay, and then on this side, we have 1, 2. We have 2 rows, which so the 2 rows starts on here, which is the first shell, right? So yeah. So actually from here, the center where we have the 3 groups, we have 2 rows of 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rows of 6. If you want to take note, it's going to help you. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows of 7 chain, 1 row of 6, and the last 2 rows of the pineapple on this side only. We're talking about 5 chain on the last 2 rows. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end.